Problem number 8 wants us to state or match the function with its domain. And that function is a rational function. It's not a rational function I would expect you to be able to graph, but you totally could. But it is interesting. If you think about the domain of a function, one way to think about the domain of the function is what x values are you allowed to put into the function. Another way you could think about the domain of a function is what x values are you not allowed to put into the function. So let's think about what x values we can't put into this function. Well, why can't you put an x value into a function? There are two main reasons for why you can't put an x value into a function. One reason is you can't divide by 0. So whatever makes that denominator equal to 0 can't be in our domain. The other reason is you cannot square root a negative number and get a real number as an answer. So let's focus on this numerator, square root of x plus 3. The square root of x plus 3, picture that as its own graph. It's a square root function. X plus 3 shifts it to the left, 1, 2, 3. So this graph looks like that. It goes up and to the right forever, but it does not go left of that starting point, which means negative 3 is the most minimum x value that this graph will ever hit. So our x values have to be greater than negative 3. And if you look at all these potential options, the only domain that says x values are greater than negative 3 is D, so it is our only possible answer. Now, if you look at the second bit, it says, and x is not equal to 4, so that's coming from the denominator there. X squared minus 16 means x cannot equal plus or minus 4, because that is a difference of squares. It would factor as x plus 4, x minus 4. But if that is a difference of squares, and it says plus or minus 4, x cannot equal plus or minus 4, why does our domain only say x cannot equal 4? What about minus 4? Well, minus 4 is already excluded from the domain because minus 4 is less than negative 3, and it already says x has to be greater than or equal to negative 3.